Hey guys, welcome to the Deluded Reds podcast. Me and Pramod are super happy today to have three special guests. And we have Hemant, who's been our admin, main guy who's running things behind the scenes, screenings, football, a lot of things for the last couple of years. And then we have the two big daddies of BKop, right? We have Gautam and we have Biju. Guys, welcome. Salute, double salute to you people.
Thanks for having us, Wari.
Hey, buddy.
This
Same
is
to
so
you.
this is so interesting because as we are teetering on the edge of beginning of the season, beginning of a new season, great new beginnings now. We thought let's just have a look into the guys, the men behind the scenes. Okay, how the screenings really happen, how we actually interact with all the people, how we get how everything comes into picture and what really it is about to be managing this beautiful thing called BKop. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. And another reason why we're doing this podcast is because BKop is a part of our lives, right? At least for me and for people who've been attending screenings for a while, it's part of our routine. Any day, any weekend from August till May, we know what we want to do. We make travel plans if it's not a big game that weekend. At least I'm that. Okay. So BKop is really, really important. Okay.
Absolutely.
And the reason is because you three guys. And BKop started a while ago. It's been more than 10 years. 2008, if I'm not wrong, is when BKop started. Biju and Gautam, thanks a lot for this. I think Gautam, being the founder, I think you should talk a little about how we started BKop. What were the initial days
Sure.
like? How you built this crazy community? Because I can say for certain that we fans, we're pretty mental, right? At least with our chants, at least with all the raids that we bring to a pub on a weekend. So yeah,
I should actually start with saying this is the first time I think I know all of you. I mean, Biju for the longest. All of you, other JC and Hemant and Vadi for at least 7, 8 years. This is the first time we are ever chatting sober. It feels very funny, and the language, the language is also very civilized. Okay, so I'm finding it a little difficult. So pardon me if I stutter in between. Yeah, it feels a little weird. But going back to 2008, so we just we started BKop officially then. We started with about five, if my math is right. There was Biju and I. There was Ankur. There was Charit, who's still with us as admin, and there was Jishnu, who's now in Australia, and a couple of other people, who really pitched in and helped. The idea was obviously, we didn't have any Liverpool fan representation as far as Bangalore is concerned. I don't even know if any other city had it, so I had no clue. But again, in fact, me and Viju worked in the same company from 2006 up to about 2010, and then we got acquainted there. We both were Ferrari fans. I was already a Liverpool fan, and we just started talking about Ferrari, and then I mentioned to him I also support another red colored team which is called Liverpool, and that's in football though. And I think he also started following, and then he if I was a fanatic, he became a different level fanatic. And then we just thought, why don't we start something for this thing, and to get more like-minded people together and watch games, and in our own selfish way, even if they were non-football fans there, catch them, convert them into football fans, and convert them into Liverpool fans. So I think we have done quite a bit of that conversion work as well,
good
as
job,
far
guys.
as football fanaticism is concerned. That's how we started, and then we are here today, 14 years later, talking about this stuff. Yeah, that is where we started, and I think I'll let Biju talk further. I mean, but that was the vision with which we started. We wanted a community. We wanted a hardcore, passionate group of people just to. I mean, initially it was just to watch screenings together. Right? It was just about watching games together, have a couple of beers, something stronger as well. But that's how we really started. But then we just kept evolving because more and more admins kept joining, the community, and more ideas kept coming in. And we started doing CSR, we started doing the blood donation activities, other charity activities, football, BFSCA now. So we've evolved over the last 14 years. And I think, all the other admins who came in during that time, have really taken this to the next level. So I'll let Biju continue with that.
Thanks, Gautam, not for letting me speak, for introducing Liverpool. It's been a big part of my life, and obviously Bangalore being the city I love, and I know that's why BKop came in picture. And I think it was 2010. That's when we started our official screenings in dugouts. So before that, it was really a run, because everywhere they were preferring, if there's a cricket game, they would play cricket game in a sports bar, or if it's a Saturday night, they want DJ nights, because Liverpool fans were 3 or 4, and they wouldn't play commentary or play the game in the big screen. So it's so
Sherlock,
many
I remember that from not Sherlock, from Three Monkeys.
Yeah, there were days, yeah, extreme sports bar. They were calling sports bar. I used to call them, you call yourself sports bar and you're not playing the game. Yeah, that's when all the jokes started. I was really even young at that time, and the only thing I wanted to watch is like the whole week I used to wait to just watch Liverpool fans. I mean, Liverpool games with Liverpool fans, and talk about the game before the game, after the game, and talk about it online. And it was like obsessed and like very passionate at that time. I am passionate even now, but then life happens. There are different things, so that's why we have new admins doing new things, which is really good. But yeah, those were the initial days where it was really difficult for us to find more fans, and the screenings happened in scattered location. Wherever they allowed us, we used to go there, sit, watch the match together, and other people in the pub used to think, what are these guys singing? What are these guys doing? I mean, what is happening? They have no clue. So then that is when, we started the Facebook community, and when we asked a lot of other people who actually are Liverpool fans, we got to know them. We told them, why don't you come for a screening? And then slowly we also met the other fans, like Rakesh from Chelsea, and Vivek from Arsenal. I mean, in fact, me and Vivek are in the same group for almost 13, 14 years right now, I think, and we still talk. But that is when they introduced the dugout to us. That is when everything changed. Starting with 3 fans, 15 fans, we started getting 80 fans for even a Norwich game in the SAS season. And it was just amazing. It was just seeing all different people we'd never even thought that we'll meet in our life. And I think many of them are like friends for life. Like, I mean, all of you see, I don't even know. I wouldn't have met Hemant, Wadi, JC if it was not Liverpool or BKop, right? But now I know that, anytime you need help, just call and they're there, like brothers for life. And we have the Deluded red groups as well, right? So this is what BKop was all about. This was the idea we started as well. This is just one place where we can just be ourselves, watch our favorite football team miles across, and one of the ideas that we started is because Anfield is very far. I know that many can't go there and watch the game. At least let's create that kind of experience somewhere locally in Bangalore. That was one of the things that me and Gautam used to always talk about. And I think I could proudly say that Gautam had called me once from Anfield to tell that, dude, I miss BKop because it's just different. The energy is different. I know a lot of people won't agree with it, because I know it is Mecca for all Liverpool fans. I agree with that. I've never been there. I will go this next year. But yeah, BKop is something closest that has got to me to feel that experience, that, the thump in the heart, like for 90 minutes watching the game. And I really, really also blame Gautam for introducing me to Liverpool, for giving me so many heart attacks, almost heart attack in the last 14 years. The club is just insane. Yeah.
Don't worry,
So
we're all going to die young, man. Don't worry, it's not just you and I.
seriously. And yeah, I mean, as Gautam was saying, we had a lot of admins. I would like to give a shout out to everyone who's been a part of to build this, amazing, fan club in Bangalore. Like we had Jishnu, who set up the, initial groups, and he was more techie, so he started doing all that. I mean, the thing is, we say and we do it immediately. That is what we were doing at that time. Like, we plan something, immediately get it on action. We used to invite and meet each and every fan who come to screening and tell them come back again, for this experience, because we made sure that every fan who came to the screening had a wow experience. We used to personalize the experience by talking to them, telling them, okay, we are the admins, we are doing this, and you can come anytime. Just if you want to join a group, just this is the group. And we used to talk about, a pre-match or again about what is happening. We were not great in the table at that time. We were in 8, 7, 6, but yeah, but we were always there to support. And we had Ankur who came in and who was our admin for a while, and he also very people person, talking to everyone. And then we had Rajiv, we had Chintan as an admin for a while. For Three Monkeys, he was always there. He was the first guy who used to always come there. And then it's a strange story. I met Avi on the road when my bike was broken, and he saw my Liverpool jersey and told me, "You come from this far to Liverpool game." I said, "I'm an admin," and eventually recruited him into the admin group as well. And he was been phenomenal at that. And he started all the chants and made the energy amazing at the screening. Then obviously Naresh, now Hemant. I mean, no words to talk about Hemant, because everybody who knows right now about screening, they know Hemant, because even after COVID, he's made sure that wherever we could screen, whichever game we have done a screening, and he's been amazing talking, and making sure social media everywhere he's been doing great. And obviously JC has also been one of the admins for the last couple of years, and now welcome Wadi to this wonderful family, and I hope you take it forward to a different level.
Yeah, thank
Welcome,
you.
buddy.
But but I think this should be about people who've already been here and done a lot for BKop. Okay, so let's just talk about what makes this an OLSE. What are the special things that we do, and how much of effort goes into these things?
So that is how we all started. Started very small, but I think the birth of what we created, or to be honest, I'm sure it's no joke, or it's not something that we can't deny, that United, Chelsea, Arsenal, they had crazy fan base at that time. I mean, believe me, they had a lot of people coming into the match, but they were not regular. A lot of were not regular screenings and stuff. And in fact, we got the what do you call? We got the information about dugout through Arsenal fans actually. But once we went there, BKop actually turned into something very, very, I don't even have the word to explain. Ask any BKop fan who's been to the screening, they would say dugout days, because that was the place that created what BKop was. Like, the place can host about 150 people, or maximum 200. We used to have 300 people turn out, and that place was loud, and it was all about the SAS season at that time. It was crazy.
Right.
So those were the initial days.
Yeah, I think my first screening was also in dugout.
Mine as well. Yeah.
I was I think 12, 13. Sorry, 8, 9. I think so. No, not 8, 9. Okay.
No, not 8, 9. Must have been 13, 14. That's the SA
right?
season
Scottish
where we
league,
were
yeah.
competing for the title. Yeah.
11, 12, we started in dugout. Yeah, but
Yep.
then the next season is where it went. Believe me, at that time, a Norwich game used to have about 80, 85 people, because
Yeah.
we were almost so close that season, and it was just crazy, and it was so beautiful to watch Sturridge and Suarez play with Steven Gerrard. It was just crazy. One thing was good is BKop. We had a lot of fans who knew all the chants, and we also made our own chants for all the players, and it was loud almost the entire 90 minutes. And another thing is dugout really kind of ripped us off, because it was so crowded. Most of us used to never even redeem our vouchers because we didn't have place to go to the bar, or the food counter to get the food. That's how it was crowded.
Yeah, man. I think
So
dugout was packed with people. But Gautam, Biju, before we talk too much, I want to know how many pubs have we had, like, officially? I think Guzzlers was the first, and then where did we go before dugout?
Extreme.
I think, yeah,
Extreme
extreme.
sports
It
bar.
was all, yeah, it was all bits and pieces, I suppose. Different.
We
different
had
places.
DOF for a while.
Yeah, there was DOF for a while, but official.
we
If you
have
ask
just
officially
gone
long
through.
term. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
Jesse.
yeah. No. We have gone through a lot of pubs after this. I'm telling only after 2014. I got into BKop after 2014, and that itself, I've seen, like, we have traveled to different parts of the city, from here, north, south, this one, that. Like, we just have sampled everything that can be sampled. But yeah, Gautam, carry on.
what we have called, to answer Vadi's question, literally like what we've got as official places was, I think, Guzzlers, then there was Dugout. After that, there was Three Monkeys, I think, right? I mean, which
After
was
that,
more
it
or
was
less official. Then after that, Rasta, then
Rasta.
Sherlock's, and then yeah, it has been Sherlock. So about
Trippers.
5 to 6 different places, and yeah, but we've had great places where we could have be called homes, but like Biju said, I mean, I think Dugout was it, because it's always the first couple of years where you continuously screened and watched games that you end up calling home at one point, and it was just like every week in, week out. It's not like any changes in any game. Every single game used to be screened there, and not in one or the other pubs. So I think Dugout will definitely top the list in all of those pubs.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
think
my first screening was there in Dugout as well. Thank you, guys.
Hemant has been awfully quiet. Bro, Hemant, which was your first screening? And when did
Yeah,
you start with BKop?
I would not like to name my first screening, but it was in Dugout. But yeah, it was the title challenge and the game against Chelsea, and you know the rest. That was my first actual screening. So I never used to know about LFC Bangalore before. So I was just sitting at home. I was the silent guy, putting on headphones and watching the game. And then once I just Googled about it, and then came up across on Facebook events. Those time I used to host events there. So yeah, Dugout Liverpool Chelsea was my first screening.
That's where
You
the
could
list
have
is
done it
formed.
2
I
games
think that.
later, man. You could have done it 2 games later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. It was all fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, for
Also, like
um,
one more thing about Dugout, like Chelsea fans, actually made it easy for us. Rakesh from Chelsea fan. That's when we got to know a lot of admins, and he. I mean, it was not Arsenal. Sorry, because on records, I would like to say it was Rakesh who actually helped us to get the Dugout, and that was like the location, prime location for Liverpool fans. And if you ask, I was saying about asking Liverpool fans who experienced Dugout, ask about the staircase, because we used to start the chanting, just getting into. There was Fort Cochin kitchen at that time, from the ground floor all the way till the game gets over, till we get into our car and bikes. We used to chant, and that was
yeah,
like really the golden era.
yeah, man. Special shout out to Biju, actually. I remember very well. I mean, it's definitely anyone sees you, no one's no one, not gonna notice, because you're, of course, this huge. But then, on the lighter side of things, dude, you were welcoming. I think you pretty much spoke to everyone every time you were. I remember seeing this same figure when I come out during halftime, when I leave the screening.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, yeah, man. I mean, Biju and Vadi, you both were the ones who got me in it as well, who introduced me to BKop, because I was very much like what Hemant said, watching at home on a telly, like a very lonesome sort of a person, lonesome sort of a watcher. And then Biju and Vadi, you just coaxed me into coming. And that was just, yeah, Biju, like, had a big heart in welcoming people as well, man.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Gautam used to do this, Yeah, Gautam doesn't smile much, but he used to talk to each and every one as well, asking them where they are from. I mean, is this the first screening? And please come again. And we used to take out details so that we could list them up in our group or add them in the WhatsApp. And
Yep.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, like if you look at my life in 2008, I was just, me and Gautam just had a conversation about Ferrari being red, and then he spoke about Liverpool. That's when I actually started watching Liverpool, and then I just started watching, and then it was some Middlesbrough game where we were actually losing, and then the fans were still chanting. I was asking, why are they even chanting when they're losing? Then he explained. Then luckily I got a superb documentary about Liverpool. I kind of hooked on, and it kind of, I mean, ups and downs in life. That's when I kind of hooked on to Liverpool as a city. It's seen a lot, and and that is when we started all this. If not for Gautam, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying others wouldn't have started, but it wouldn't have been our story for sure. Because Gautam was traveling a lot, and with that gap, I think by the time Gautam would have come back, it would have been a different scene altogether. But we kept it going because we had that kind of rapport, and then we just wanted to. And I remember Gautam calling me from Anfield one day and saying, dude, it's nothing like BKop because we were doing the season at dugout and he was at the cop end and they were not chanting at that time. I guess I don't know for not some reason, but he called me at the same time from the cop and he told, dude, it's not like BKop. They're not chanting here because we used to do that like the entire 90 minutes. We used to go back for the next 2 days in office with a very bad throat, headache, but it was all worth it for us.
That's right, man. I think our screening, our shouting, our throats go for a toss. I have to drink warm water to get it back to normal, stuff like that. But yeah, these are the memories we live for. And then there's one thing which I just want to add. Okay, so Hemant told me that his first game was a Chelsea loss. Okay, so Biju, what hooked you on to was uh, the game we lost to Middlesbrough, where people are applauding, right? And
We
then
drew, actually. We drew. We were losing, but we drew.
yeah, I mean, applauding even then is like a big deal. I mean, one thing what I can see here is the thing that just came to my mind is strong men are created by tough situations. So I think this is something I've been to good screenings also, but the following that we get from screenings where we've lost, uh, I think those are the people that stick around for much longer. I'm pretty sure that's how it's been for a lot of people. But yeah, special thanks to Biju, Hemant. Hemant, with that, I want to talk about you. So we've spoken about the two founders, okay, but then pretty much you've been the guy that's running things here for the last 1 or 2 years, right? At least prominently, most. So we all know about that. You tell me. You've told me how you fell in love with BKop, but how was your admin journey been like? And what are you excited about? What's the most exciting thing about BKop this season?
So, like I said, Liverpool Chelsea was the first game, and after that, even though it was a loss, I was not the superstitious guy where I felt like if I go to screenings, Liverpool will lose and things like that. So I started, liking people, talking to Biju, Gautam, Avinash, and all you guys out there. Made me feel like as you're watching the game in the stadium atmosphere with the chants, with the songs and all that. To be honest, except You'll Never Walk Alone, I never knew any other song when I first attended. Went back home, mugged up all the lyrics, and then saw the chants and all that. And I wanted to be part of it. So I'm sure many of the newcomers, that's what we're also doing. We are educating people on what the chant is, what culture Liverpool. What culture Liverpool football brings into the games and all that. So and yeah, from 2014 onwards started attending pretty much on and off. And then I would say start of the Klopp era was when I got fully involved in this, and I think that is when we moved to Indranagar Sherlock's as well. So it somehow coincided about it. So I think about a year or so I was attending probably all the screenings. 2015 club joined, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 club joined, and then half a season I was like there for almost all the games, and then yeah, coincidentally I was the partner of Sherlock as well. So wanted to get both the thing. I just wanted to bring the best of both the worlds here, win-win situation, and then have our games regularly screened somewhere. So we were looking out for places. That's what Gautam was telling. So we freeze in on Sherlock's, and then yeah, pretty much from there and then onwards, man. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
1 2 years was prominence, like you said, but I'm more of the behind the scenes guy. So I was there. I think I was there since 2017 as an admin. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but yeah, last 5 years. So
That's great, man.
I think Hemant is being very modest here because Hemant is like the Swiss Army knife admin. Like the bugger will do like multiple things, and you'll be wondering if you're a fellow admin, you'll be wondering, oh, so you've done that too. Okay, oh, you've done that too. It's like a tennis match you're watching, and Biju, who has been like the welcomer, the huge heart guy, he welcomes in. He's the face, and Gauti has been more like the enforcer of BKop. He put down the discipline in BKop, as we all know. I mean, we have like seen a gradual increase in the number of people coming into our screenings and all that. Okay, and yes, you need to be welcoming, but you need to lay down the law of the land and all that. So Gauti has been doing that, and yeah, go on, Abhi.
So yeah, JC hit the nail on the head when he was talking about the enforcement part and who was the face of BKop and things like that, and that gradually got taken over. Like we started. I think we named a couple of them. We missed out Ankur, so Ankur was also one of them. I remember the first meeting official that when we had in 2010 in Dugout. There was a small room and we had that meeting, and we put together a PowerPoint presentation to envision what BKop is going to be. So there were a few things that we want a football team one day. We want to have association with other fan clubs across Bangalore. That we want to make it more of a family kind of environment where you can inclusion of women in all of that. So we set the basics up, right? When I talk about the basics, we wanted the OLSC, the Official Supporters Club recognition. We wanted a place to do screenings. We wanted to do as many screenings as possible week in and week out. We wanted to set up, a culture for BKop, something which is going to be iconic in the future. So while we set up those basics, then later, obviously, with us getting a little busy with work, and we always wanted new blood to come in, and that's when guys like Avinash came in. Then there was Naresh, who's done a brilliant job in terms of helping a lot in terms of the official stuff, right? In terms of when Liverpool came down, when the PL live event happened in Bangalore. Literally, he and I were there right from 3 in the afternoon, or even earlier than that, on both days, up till about 5:30 in the morning. All of this event, the Mumbai event where Sami Hupia and Smitha and all had come down,
Right.
all of that was coordinated by Naresh very well. A lot of the CSR activities, the blood donation, he always used to be there to ensure that it runs smoothly, and a couple of other things. So him and Avi, at one point took over a lot of the work, where we were getting a little, taking a back seat on a lot of things. Then obviously, Hemant and JC, you guys have taken it to a different level. So I spoke about the part where the football team, the fan club, a part of it, and the family part of it, most importantly, which today I can see in our screenings. They used to be 100%, or I would say 95% men and guys, and there used to only hardly be about two or three ladies who used to come for these screenings. So mainly it used to be my wife, Ankur's wife as well, a couple of other handful of ladies. But today that ratio has changed big time, and I'm extremely happy. So that's where Hemant, JC, you guys have really taken it to the next level. And now, Vadi, welcome to you as well. That's one more thing which we wanted to mention. Welcome to you as well onto the team. So managing podcast. So we have a lot more in place as far as the vision is concerned, and it's only improving year on year, and it's only improving with all the new blood admins who are coming, including Hemant, who's taken it to a next level under his, like you said, the Swiss Army knife leadership, and JC and you guys with Akshay and all the other folks with all the all the face that you're showing in terms of organizing the chants. How many chants have we created? Like, I used to say Anfield could not create a chant for Mane, but we had three of them just for BKop. So that is something that you guys have done over the years. So with new people coming, it's just getting taken to the next level, and the future is going to be a notch further. Every year is going to be a notch further.
Amazing, bro.
Cheers, man. We really hope.
So you guys were talking about what makes an OLSE, right? Having more women, having a lot of things beyond just screening. Women is one thing in the screening. Uh, what are the other things that constitute what gets you an OLSE? Did you just have to apply for an OLSE, and did you have like a set of things that you had to qualify for?
Yeah, if you have to set up for a OLSC for a club like Liverpool, for a city like Bangalore, you need to have about 15 official members who have taken membership at at liverpoolfc.com, and then then you apply for it, and then in case in your city if there is no other members who have applied for it, then Liverpool will consider to, call yourself or your community as the OLSC for that city. So that gives a good, kind of exposure to us. Like anybody who comes into a city and they are an official member, they can just go to the Liverpool website and see where is the official screening happening, and that kind of navigates them to us. And yes, we also get some hospitality tickets and option, like it's not like they give it free, but I'm saying they give us some ticket options so that we can give it to fans who are actually going to Anfield to enjoy the game, and few other perks in case if there's any discount going on in the LFC store, they let us know, and any other events that they are planning, they will let us know. So it's kind of a family, like, and we also get to sometimes talk with the other OLSC fans across the world, so that we can share what we do here, and they can share what they do, and kind of implement if there's something that we do. And apart from that, as for us, yes, OLSC is one stamp, but for us, BKop means a little bit more than that, because we, as a community, as we said, we did a lot of CSR activity. In fact, the Man City game on the SAS season was on the Hillsborough event day. So we actually took a few kids, underprivileged kids, to watch a movie, Rio 2, right? And like about have a lovely day, like play some games in the arcade, help them get some McDonald's food, and then after that we did the blood donation on the same day, and then came back and watched the game. It was just a start, so we have done a lot of activities like that, and we are actually proud, and we would like to do that more as well, because it's not just about getting all together and watching a game and having a good night. Apart from that, there were people who wanted to actually volunteer to do these kind of stuff, and we would like to continue that. We've been doing that for the last 10 years. And yeah, I mean, as Gautam was saying, we had a lot of admins. It was a long journey. We initially started with 3-4. We have Rajiv, who's been there for a long time with us, doing our digital content. And Avinash, as you said, he's the one who actually got a lot of people chanting in our BKop. He's got the loudest voice even now. Whenever he comes to our screening, it's always noticed that, okay, the chants are going to happen. And obviously, Wadi and JC, you guys are insane with your chants, with your creative. And we always get one video of Pramod in our WhatsApp group. Hey, we have a new chant. This is it, right? So it's just ongoing thing. And then right now everybody pretty much know everyone with their name, face. Like we regularly feel happy. Like 5-6 days you're working. You don't know. When good thing is like there's no rich, poor, doctor, mechanic, nothing. When you come to a screening, everybody's same. Nobody cares about anything. 90 minutes, all of our hearts are together, just watching the game and chanting and wanting the same thing. Nothing here, no politics, no religion, nothing. That's the best thing about it, just free soul experience. And we love it. We'd like to do that on and on for how many years, I don't know. Right now, I think me and Gautam have taken a backseat. Yes, we have done our part, and we are so happy. People like Hemant, as he said, Swiss knife, yeah. And I'm sure now JC with Wadi, we are looking forward to see more innovation. But the basic has to be the right thing. We need to care about the fans' experience. That's the first important thing. That's everything.
Spoke about everything. You forgot about the beer.
It's okay, bro.
About people having everything on screening.
Yeah. That's the pub's income. Why should I talk over that?
I mean, that was your 90 minutes, and your beer is super important, dude. Without the beer, you don't get in the mood.
Hot water for the people who scream.
Not just beers, but we've had a lot of stuff over the years.
Yeah, I mean, of course. We've had a lot of Coke,
Codes, Old Monk.
Amod and Codes, what a relationship it was.
Yes, it was a wonderful relationship. But yeah,
I'm so happy.
I mean, that's the thing. I think there's one thing that Biju mentioned there about knowing other people's names when you come to these screenings. Okay, that is something I have been to. Other fan clubs. I don't want to name names and point fingers. I have been to other fan clubs screenings, and I do notice that this lack of it's a lonesome experience. It's like watching a movie in a theater. You don't know the person you're watching it with. That thing has completely like broken in BKop. Like we know, we talk and we encourage people to to make friends, and before you know it, within like 3 or 4 screenings, that guy is a regular. Okay, you know him, you know where he comes from, you know what he does. It's like camaraderie has a new meaning here. I think that's one of the defining factors of what we stand for.
Absolutely, dude. Very well put. I think I can 100% agree to it. I think from the very first screening, we've had someone to talk to. I think one of my first friends at BKop was Naresh. Like, the guy, I mean, besides you, we used to go together, me and Pramod, right? But the first guy that I actually started talking to was this guy called Naresh and another guy called Sham. Those two were like, they were a couple back then. They would come together. And so I remember yeah, it was great. It started from there, and this was a Three Monkeys. Yeah, if I remember correctly. I don't think you get
Three
this
Monkeys was
any
my
other.
beginning.
Hmm. But I
Three
don't think you
Monkeys
get
was
this
my
any other.
beginning, and yeah, exactly. And you know what? That's the essential thing. What Gautam mentioned this earlier, like getting 80 people for a Norwich game. That is where I want to see BKop like consistently. Get people for your Newcastles, for your okay, Newcastle is gonna be a big team in the future, but you know what I mean. Like your Brightons and your, I can't think of a rubbish team. United. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Enough, enough of this.
Yeah. Okay. One question back to the admins. Okay. Okay. No, the thing is, you guys missed out on one thing. Of course, we guys do blood donation. And then we did a walkathon also once. Uh, Animal. So there was this event at Kupa. How many of you remember? So
Yes,
Deepak
this
has been
is
there.
coordinated by Naresh,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
Naresh.
it wasn't
I'm
Copa. I think
sure Sai on.
It was not Cuba.
it,
It was
it was Haven Animal Welfare Trust.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
Haven?
Yeah.
I remember seeing. Okay, I was there at that event, and I just remember Cooper from somewhere. But yeah, that was another amazing event. I think besides the few popular ones at BKop screenings, there were some other people also who would come there, and yeah, that was amazing, though. BKop has been doing a lot of things. I think we should talk about our PLSEA a little more over here. It's been at least a little more driven by BKop. At least started over here. We've kind of huddled with different group admins. Uh, so thank you, Gautam. Thank you. Do you guys have something to say about that?
I think Hemant will be the best person to answer that. But just to start off with, like I think when we
Yes, yes.
spoke about Biju mentioned the screening, like the hangout place that was introduced to us by Rakesh, a very close friend of ours. We had guys like Vivek and others who were the Arsenal fan club there. And as far as the blood donation is concerned, we have always invited, all the other fan clubs and forwarded. So I think we have maintained a very close relationship right from the beginning with all of the admins. They're like, buddies to us. There's no, obviously apart from the game time, there's no animosity. There's nothing. We sometimes even catch up on non-match days and have a drink together and stuff. So that's how it has always been. And I think with this BFSCA, it has gone to the next level. And obviously Hemant is directly involved and more actively involved on it. So I think he'll be able to explain better.
Okay, Hemant. So as a fan, I understand how a screening works. Okay, I walk in, pay my cover charges, get a beer, and I'm watching the game. Okay, I chant, I don't, whatever. But what is it like for an admin?
Oh man, that's a tough question. All right. So there's a lot of
Because
things that goes
different
behind
games,
scenes.
it's
Yeah.
completely, there are so like different games. Admin, the duties of the admins keep changing. So just shed some light on that, bro.
Actually, to be honest, I said in the beginning, I come back. I used to sit and watch games in my TV screen and all that. But even now, come back home and watch the full 90 minutes of every game because as an admin, I've never watched the game peacefully during a screening. All right. So
Then you
taking
know,
That's
taking
the
the
unfortunate
question,
thing.
what?
That's the most unfortunate thing, but
Yeah.
part of the duty.
Yeah, so the planning goes way in advance. So, Premier League doesn't release calendars for the full. I mean, it releases the dates, but all the timings and whether it's on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night gets decided only 1 or 2 months in advance. So, right now you would have schedule for August and September maybe, right? And then once the schedule is out, we get to talk to the different screening partners like Gautam mentioned, maybe it was dugout back then. So I have been dealing with it on since the last few years. I mean, first of all, I would like to mention that Naresh was completely handling screenings pre-COVID era. That is probably uh,
Yes.
18, 19. So I was just behind the scenes guy. So what we used to do is first and foremost talk to the guys, talk to Sherlock, block their event calendar because Sherlock, as you know, it's a pub. So if it's a Saturday game, it becomes even more difficult because everybody wants to party now. And if it's an IPL season, it becomes even more difficult because everybody wants to watch cricket. Cricket is the first sport in India now. If an RCB game, to forget it, we'll not have screening. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll have to convince the guys, convince the venue that we'll need the space for this many number of hours and all that. And like you said, so it matters on different games. So if it is a Liverpool United or a City or say any of the top six, Arsenal uh, wouldn't include Spurs, but yeah, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, a City, and Arsenal. So these games are for sure a massive turnout. So even the screening partners will want to associate themselves with us. So even before I call them, they will know about this event and they call me. But for other events is what we have to go behind them. So yeah, 1 week before we freeze the venue and then get working on the poster or the what do you say, social media for all the social media handles and all that. Put it up there, create events and all that. And yeah, a big negotiation also goes to reduce the cover charge as much as possible. So for any other game, almost all the games we try to keep it at 300, which is reasonable for all the all the fans. And some of the games actually we have let students come in for free by showing their ID card. So that's we know that they can't be spending on a week-to-week basis. So we let them in for free as well.
That's actually a
And
very good idea.
yeah, we've
You're
done
just
that. We've done that.
stopping them from getting a cover charge coupon. You're just preventing them from getting a beer, and then from
yeah,
there
Yeah,
on, it's
exactly,
all on the way to that. That's great. Dude. Sorry, man. Yeah,
exactly.
go
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
just
So
to be clear, students over 18.
students who are 18. Yeah, yeah. No, see, anyhow, pub rules apply. So only above 18 will be served alcohol. But we don't manage that. That's left up to the screening venue. But what we try to do is because they are students starting here, we shouldn't deprive them of the experiences that they would like. They shouldn't be held back because they want to come and watch a game with fellow Liverpool fans and all that. So that's something that we've done very recently with Sherlock's, and they've been supportive as well. And yeah, so during the day, so a lot of things come up. So as much as you plan, as much as you put up post well in advance, there'll be always some guy who will be calling 1 minute before kickoff saying that he wants entry into the pub and all that. Yeah, so managing that, handling, talking to these CEOs of different venues like Siddharth for Sherlock and all that. So a lot of things goes behind the scenes, man, to have a
Stressful
successful
is the
screening.
word.
Yeah. Like I said, I
And
don't watch the game. I watch the fans. For me, fan experience matters. They should ultimately get back home safe, first of all, and also be able to keep this in the memories until the next screening. Because the best screening is always the one that's coming up next.
Right.
Fully. And
Right.
I think
Right.
throughout the year you
Poetic.
also have to keep throughout the year you also have to keep praying that the team performs well, because there's only two things that
Yeah, yeah.
have mattered over the last 14 years that we've seen. is one is, I mean, the place does not matter. The distance has not mattered in some cases, obviously. But there are two things which matter the most is one is the experience that that we can give as fans and get together and as friends and fans. And the second thing is team performance. We've always seen a positive correlation, or this win between the team's position in the table and the number of people who turn up for these screenings. So fingers crossed. So apart from just doing the organizing work, I'm sure Hemant
Yeah.
was sitting in front of the puja room every day praying for
No,
Liverpool to win
luckily
games.
luckily I took over since the Klopp era started, so I'm
Yeah, lucky you.
blessed with that.
Lucky guy though.
And I think one more thing is, like, when you're having an exclusive screening, admin's life become really miserable to make sure that, no other fans also get in, because, we can't
Absolutely.
vouch if there are 300 Liverpool fans, we can't vouch for all 300 Liverpool fans, what will happen if the opponent scores and if the opponent fan celebrates. So for an admin, I've seen that, for myself or Gautam or even for Hemant, if we have an exclusive Liverpool fans only screening, and if you see any other fans come, we have to send them back. And we are very rude about it. I mean, as in, it's a football fan, they want to watch a match, but when it's exclusive, admin's life is not about watching the game. We are always there at the entry, trying to make sure there's no,
For the safety of.
yeah,
Yeah,
safety of everyone.
but to make the rival fan experience better from next year, we are planning some pepper spray and taser guns.
No, I would like to mention here. See, I have a couple of my best friends are, of course, Chelsea and United fans. So they would always attend our screenings. But I would like to make a note here that rival fans are welcome, but just don't come in your jersey and start celebrating, and take the wrath of the entire crowd against you. So come, a couple of my friends really come to our screenings in neutral clothes, and they always say one thing, man. So they've never even attended their own screenings, all right? So, and the one or two that they've attended in the recent past, well, they're like all BKop screenings is always the best, in terms of chanting, in terms of the emotions that come out. We just spoke about the heartache, heart attack, right?
Absolutely.
So all the emotions that come out, and we are truly connected along with whatever play goes on there. So yeah.
The FA Cup was a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
Happened this FA Cup.
Yeah.
Why was it a nightmare?
The
I think
Buffalo Wild
the
Wings FA Cup
Buffalo
final. Yeah.
Wild Wings,
managing
penalty
it
shootout.
was,
Uh,
managing
Yeah,
it, like the heartache.
we had about
It's all
15 guys who were actually from Liverpool, from England, who had come down, and a couple of them were like, really, really taken out. Their minds just blew. They were like, why would you even support a team which is so far away? And they were just taken aback so much that, he was shocked that we knew all the chants and we were singing at different point. And one guy even we went back all the way to singing about Gerrard and Carragher and Dalglish and all that.
aggravation.
So,
So
yeah,
many.
yeah, yeah. So he was
See, at
he was
least
really,
those are
yeah.
all about the players, though. I mean, but singing First Costa Tommy and stuff is it has nothing to do with
Yeah,
Bangalore for
exactly, exactly.
and that kind of stuff, chance and they, I mean, obviously people who are from Liverpool really get impressed when they come down and hear us doing this.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we've had great screenings. Yeah, we've had great screening over the years. I remember a lot of these little games. Like I can, for the life of me, like big games. Of course, yes, we all love it. Okay, but these little games like the Norwich screening, I can never forget the Norwich screening, because first of all, going in, you don't expect that this will be a cracker of a game. You are expecting a boring win, and you were expecting to come back home after a quiet Saturday. But it was just like 70-75 odd of us, and it just went mental. I'm talking about the Lalana goal in the
Yeah.
96th minute, and we went absolutely mental. I mean, and there's another thing that I have never seen. Like I've never seen, bottles being broken or thrown or fights. I have actually never seen that happen in a BKop screening, and it just amazes me. And that's, I think, the overall aura that you guys have created over there, it's of a very, very friendly nature, and people people don't really feel like doing anything aggressive. I mean, they aggressively chant, they aggressively celebrate, but none of those. When it comes to doing any of those negative things, it's never dealt with in aggression.
Yeah. We are probably reflecting Klopp's Liverpool, man. Least number of red cards, yellow cards, whatever. We just try to keep our
This
screenings as smooth as possible. But yeah, on a lighter side, probably they had Biju to deal with earlier, and then uh, one side took over. Nobody feels like messing with us.
No, I just tell them this will be our last screening. We can't. I mean, we can't lose. We have got one partner somehow. Don't create a mess. It's very difficult to get a place to screen. And other than that as well, that's why we keep all big games exclusive Liverpool. Yes, if we are heartbroken, let's all be heartbroken together. But move on. We had a
Let's
great.
cry together. Yes, we have cried together multiple times. Yeah, I mean, there are so many
Yeah,
screenings we
let's.
have all cried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
You
guys.
remember?
This amazing culture that you guys have built around BKop. But I want to ask this one question to all the admins. I'm going to start with Biju, who's on my right. So, which is the best screening that you've hosted? Or let's say, let's not call it hosted. I mean, because as an admin, you don't get to enjoy the screening as much, right? That's what Hemant was pointing out. So, from an experience point of view, from being a responsible person, which has been the best venue, and probably if you could name the match, it would be great.
I mean, to be honest, there's so many best screening I could talk about, but one which is out of the world is that Man City game 3-2. God, we had fans.
You don't have to ask me. I have the same answer.
Dugout was only third floor, and the capacity is some 150. We filled in about 250 fans there, somehow standing, sitting, whatever. Then we took the fourth floor, which was just half a place where actually Man United had a game later, and their fans had come, and we told them to move out, and we covered another 80, 100 fans there. And I was doing fourth floor, third floor, third floor, fourth floor, just to make sure that everybody is having a great experience. And that Coutinho goal, entire Kormangla kind of erupted at that minute. It was crazy. It was just insane. And it was, I don't know, man. Me and Gautam, we used to go 2 hours before every game for the screening venue. But lucky now we have partners who are taking ownership for everything. But setting up projector, checking mic, everything, checking the speaker, commentary channel. If not, channel is not there, we pay Tata Sky to get the channel. If there's channel not available, then somehow try get the streaming link, do whatever it is. We are making sure that we promise people screening, we have to give them screening. We used to do a lot, and that was one superb day, because in the morning we had a super CSR event where we took the kids to the movies and gaming arcade, and then McDonald's, and then blood donation, and then came back tired but really, really active to make sure we had the best screening, and that I would never forget in my life.
Yeah,
I think that can re-energize that kind of a game. Like, no matter how tired you are, a game like that could just vanish all your tiredness. It's absolutely right.
And that time I used to stay somewhere in a place called Kodigehalli, like literally so far away, but I used to enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, that was one of the days. So, Buddy, you don't even have to ask me that question because it's the same answer. The best thing about that was it was a 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. day, actually. So we started the day at 6 a.m. with the CSR activity, like you said. Then, we went through the day. Then we went into a hangout like 4-ish, 5-ish. Watched the game. Went to a pub opposite. Drank till about, I don't know, I think 1:30. I think that was the time when Bangalore was still open till 1:30. I mean, now it's again that in the weekends. And then I think we went to my place, all of us, and then we continued there till about 5:36. So it was a 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. day, and it was just insane. The whole day was only about positive. There was nothing which was even negative about that entire day. So irreplaceable in our memories.
I'll always remember Avinash for it, because the NGO Ashwini Act and Avi was just amazing that day. When I remember, we were all like Ankur. Everyone was there. Like it was just nobody asked anybody to come in, but everybody was there, and we created a banner that is still. I mean, I don't have a Facebook account, but till I had a Facebook account, that was my banner. It was amazing. I mean, I'm sure that we are looking forward to do something more like that.
Oh yeah, and we totally forgot about Sonu as well. So he was also part of
Yeah.
this then, right? Yeah, we totally forgot
So,
very
yes.
briefly. But when we mentioned this event, I remember him. So yeah, great day, the best day I think as far as our screenings are concerned for BKop.
Anthony.
Hemant, what about you?
I would love to say the 2019 UCL final, but I mean that's the best screening for all, I'm sure. But on a personal note, I think I mean I've always been a fan of joint screenings, like the other admits. So the one that I mean joint screening in the sense where it's managed by the Star Sports and
Bayern
Premier
neutral.
League. So yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. So we don't want administrative hassles or tensions on that day. I think in 2018 when we did Liverpool versus Man United
United.
game at UB City when Shaqiri scored those 2 goals, and
Shakiris.
yeah, that was probably my best. And yeah, that was crazy, man. I mean, so let's be honest here. I think probably United have by far the most number of, at least the numbers of supporters in Bangalore, and we beat them on that day in terms of filling up the place, and we beat them in the match, and to see all their sad faces get home was like terrific.
Yeah, that was actually see, those kind of a neutral games are like so good because when it's hosted by Star Sports or something like that,
Yeah,
so much easier for all the admins. It's just about
absolutely.
just handle your guys.
See, I watched the game, that's why it's there in my memory.
By the way, by the way, the United numbers that Heyman spoke about was only at that time in 2018. Half of
Yeah,
them are City fans now.
Hmm.
Very, very much for
As a fan club too, correct. They also
We
do.
may have 4 or 5, but I'm sure we can catch them out in a screening very easily.
They do screening now. In fact, like in our screenings, we have had West Ham fans, in Newcastle fans, and we have welcomed them because at least they're not supporting the top four. So we have actually encouraged them to join us for a joint screening couple of times. Initially, I'm talking about 2012-13. Toons Army was there. Yeah, yeah. So luckily we won. So
you
that's
forgot
good for
Brighton,
them.
bro.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's in store for this coming season. Where are we planning? I think a lot of people are already asking that question in the group, right? Where are we screening it this time? Do you guys have anything that you can say?
So we have a few screening partners on paper. We haven't finalized them yet, but we are actually very close to announcing it. And we see right now our priority is getting the best deal, not just experience wise. We want even financially, like economically viable to all of them. Okay, so we are trying to nail those factors down, and I think the fans will be pretty happy because we do have big plans. We want to screen as much screenable. That's what we are looking for. Okay, and we are looking to gain consistency from there. So hope it all works out now. And we have Gauti and Biju may have taken a backseat, but they're always there, as guidance. They'll always be there. They'll be around. And Hemant, of course, one of the rocks that we have. And and yeah, now we've got you on board. So I'm sure we have the manpower to give even a better experience, even in the CSR front, to make it bigger. The other thing is we have more admins than ever before. Okay, so it is much more structured. We have been busy in the pre-seasons. Okay, and the on the administration side of it, we are going to be more organized, and there are big plans that we are trying to nail. So and there is like a team for social media, a separate team for ticketing, and separate team for the in-person screening. And so there is a good enough decent team of 8 to 10 to get things rolling. And this will actually, I do see this year as a step in the right direction. Okay, we can handle a bigger crowd. I honestly do believe that we can, because since the team is also doing well, okay, which should be irrelevant to us. Okay, it should be, but it just helps us when the team is doing well. I do see this as a very good opportunity to get our average up.
So that's one thing we've noticed, right, over the years. Uh, I think even probably I was one of the guys who got introduced the same way. We met at screenings, we shared a good bond, and then we became good friends. I think some of my best friends are here. I think same goes for Pramod also. And if you guys are still listening to the podcast, you guys are going to be pretty lucky if you are going to run into one of us during these screenings. Then please be sure that we will have you over at this podcast and give you a voice, let you speak about what do you want from BKop, what's the experience like, how we can make it better, and of course, it's going to be about Liverpool. It's going to be about putting BKop on the world stage.
Yep.
So, guys,
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Prabal. Yeah. Thank you.
Right,
Manish,
guys.
Nice,
Hemant,
guys.
It is
Thanks, Vadi.
brilliant having you guys. You know what? Someday, let's talk about some of those bad, those terrible games that we have been to, those games that we went back home and like with frustration and tears. We'll do that someday. But upbeat and positive for the upcoming season. Let's carry this flag for now. And really, thanks for making it today, guys.